My name is Bethany Hudson, and I go to Eastern Illinois University. I'm involved with a campus ministry called Chi Alpha, and I just wanted to share with you what missions means to me and what God's done in my life this past year. So I was approached by Pastor Sangram to go to India this summer, and at first I thought, why would I want to go to India? I don't have time for that. But then God began working in my life and in my heart, and the call became evident. And so I decided to go. Well, the first problem was finances, because I'm a poor college student and I had no way to be able to support the trip. And so I went by faith to God, and I approached many family members, friends, and just whoever I could to support. I imagine I sent over 100 support letters with follow-up notes, praying by faith that God would provide. And the money came in because of faithful supporters like you. God provided. It was fully funded, the $3,000. In fact, over the $3,000. And so then I knew it was right that I should go to India. So once I got to India, even before I got to India, it was a missions trip, even in the airport, because we got delayed several times. I was so overwhelmed and frustrated, but in the moment God was preparing me for what would become a life of missions. And one of the things I learned is that missions begins right here in our home where we begin. So that was another thing that I learned. One of the things while we were in the orphanages working, I learned how to accept my identity in Christ and what Christ has planned for me. Because the children in the orphanage, they were creating posters with their handprints on them, and each one had to be perfect. And I remember just thinking, oh, that's me. I'm that type of personality that has order in my life. And in that moment I was humbled, and I saw myself in those children. And so I learned that God created me as good, and I'm in His image. So that was another fundamental thing that I learned. Also, God spoke to me about contentment, because in those trials that we face at the beginning, I had to learn to rely on Him, and that my trust comes in Him. And then He also showed me that with faith, through financial support and through just little struggles while in India, God's there and He provides. He comes through. And then finally, one of the hugest things that God has done in my life through India and through this whole process is He's revealed His will for my life. The first day that we were in India, we were at an orphanage, and I was watching all the children play, and I just felt at home. And God said, hey, I want you to work somewhere here in an orphanage. I'm not sure where, but James 1:27 says that pure religion is to look after the orphans and the widows. And right then I knew that I was at my Father's business. So fast forward, after the missions trip, after India, so this week here, or this month at Charleston Community, is Missions Emphasis Week. And last week I'm sitting in my chair listening to the pastor, and I think for a while I had doubted my call, where I wasn't sure if that's what God wanted. But God confirmed my call in a full-time ministry, and now I'm going to be a full-time missionary, in full-time ministry after I graduate. I'm not sure where, when, but I'm ready to go wherever God leads me. And it's through your faithful support and your prayers, and that God has got me to where I am, and all the honor and glory goes to Him. And I just want to say thank you, and God's awesome.